It's just so cute. Mine is black. All right, we in on Thursday. Let's get it. Hello, hello. Welcome in, Facebook. Welcome in, LinkedIn. Welcome in, YouTube. Welcome in, TikTok. Hey, home decor. On day 4 of the challenge. What's up, my Millie Bestie in the house? Liz Wilcox. The famous Liz Wilcox, baby. The survivor, Liz Wilcox. The fresh princess of female marketing, Liz Wilcox. All of the Liz Wilcox. Hey, TikTok over here. We get ready to jump into day 4 of our 5-day challenge. Y'all know what it's about. Hey, Coach Adam. What's going on? This is going to be a good live. Go ahead and share it out. I welcome you if you haven't been following the challenge this week. Go back on my page, watch day 1, 2, and 3 because we're talking about massive growth. Hey, my boo is on. Hey, Dreaming. So we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn because that's how important this information is. We're gonna jam out real quick. We're gonna give people time to come in. Y'all know, an hour and a half. That's how long I go with y'all. 90 minutes. 90 minutes. How did she do it? You can do it too. You just got to step outside of fear. We talked about fear on day 1. Remember? Stepping outside of ourselves. It sounds different. Are you on a headphone? No, I'm not on headphones. I'm not on headphones. It could be because the music is playing. It'll stop in a minute and you'll be able to hear me clearly. Hey, Coach Mo. TikTok popping in. Yeah. I'm just getting the energy. That's all it is. I'm tapping into the energy that I need because today gonna be fire. Okay, every day has really been fire, but today I'm gonna give y'all something really, really good to work on. You're gonna be proud of yourself. Flawless, yes. Hey y'all, this is good. This is good. Hey, Coaches thing. All right, the tribe is here. I love it. I'm on my little sciatica booty seat. Y'all know the sciatica been acting up all week. So I'm sitting on my little sciatica booty seat. TikTok world. I'm loving y'all over here. Y'all know I'm almost close to 5,000 friends, right? I'm moving up the charts. I'm moving up the charts. Y'all showing me so much love over here on TikTok. I love it. Y'all go ahead and say hey. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Let's go ahead and get all of the formality out the way, right? Tell me who you are. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Because we're in so many different spaces. We're on TikTok. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. I'm sorry, Instagram, but y'all just be too complicated. I can't. I tried. At least we got day 1 on Instagram. Day 1 did get on Instagram. But my people who follow me on Instagram, you gotta come on over here. I'm the Master Coach Whisperer, and I'm from Dallas. Come on, Master Coach Whisperer. Tell my mom to come. Oh, I got my BFF on here. Okay. My BFF, y'all, this is my, if I was her age, we would be like totally best friends. I'm telling you, I have people who I gel with of all age groups. All age groups. All right. Come on, Master KG. I love Master KG, y'all. All right. So, what's up? What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to day 4 of the massive growth challenge that we've been doing all week. You know, from my heart and my soul of just wanting to come and help make life better, right? Help make life better for all of us. Those of you who are tuning in from the first time and you don't know me, I'm Master Coach Lakendra. In my world of life coaching, I run a 7-figure life coaching school where we certify and train life coach leaders to be them best selves. And I just feel like once we're our best selves, then our clients, if you run a business, then the clients are going to get the best of you. You're going to be consistent in business. You're going to always be in creative mindset of wanting to solve a problem and make the world a better place. That's what I do. So I help leaders lead with love, because you got to tap back into that love zone of who you are, to step outside of those limited beliefs and those fears and all the things that just keeps us, chained up from really being our best self. So I got some moderators over here on TikTok. So can y'all just communicate? Because y'all know this is more like a training thing. But I also would say this, because TikTok, I'm coming for you. I'm going to always say this to TikTok as well. If it's people on here that you're not following, go ahead and follow them, because I've been on these follow trains, and baby, the following the friends that's not bots and the real people, y'all go ahead and do that over here, even though this is not that type of live. But I just think it makes live and so much better, right? When you can follow someone and make it happen. My people that's over here on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, just go ahead and drop me a heart in the comments. Find that little heart icon, because this is all about love today. That way I know that y'all are here, you're tuning in, and we're good to go. Of course, over here on TikTok, go ahead and tap that screen. Tap. Send me some of those little pink hearts. And we're just gonna dive into it today. We got 90 minutes, y'all. 90 minutes. TikTok was like, can you just be on for 90 minutes? And I'm like, of course I can. I'm a master teacher, so I can talk for 90 minutes, right? If somebody said, I'll pay you $1 million to get up and speak for 90 minutes, what would you talk about? What are you so creatively, masterfully at that you can talk for 90 minutes? Go ahead and put it in the comments. If I say I'll give you $1 million to stand before an audience of people and speak for 90 minutes, what would you teach about? Because on day 2, we tapped into our gifts. We tapped into things that if we were disconnected from what the world was giving us, what could we create ourselves with our own talents and our gifts and our resources? So you got to be able to know, you got to be able to stand on something. If I gave you $1 million, folks, to talk for 90 minutes, can you talk for 90 minutes? Can you do it? If the answer is no, then you ain't tapped in deep enough yet. And if the answer is no for the people who've been on my lives all week, y'all ain't been doing your homework. You haven't been doing your homework. Thank you for all of the roses. Oh, look, my BFF. If my BFF is still on here, thank you for sending me this. Y'all, I think she's like 8 or 9 or 10. How old is she? She's like 8 or 9 or 10. But she inboxed me and said, she's 10. Okay. She inboxed me and said, would you be my Valentine's? And I said, yes. And then I had this on my desk when I got to work today. Isn't this the cutest thing? I just love it. When this is how you know you're a good person, when you have even kids want to be friends with you. That's how you know that you really untapped into a new dimension of yourself. Because when I tell you I have all age friends, I'm talking about, look, from 10 to 70 years old. That's how you know, like, you're doing the work, like you're showing up for yourself and you're being mindful and you're being accountable for who you are as a human being. When people just want to be friends with you of all ages, right? So when I decided to do this 5-day massive day challenge, I really decided to do it because I was going through my own struggle. Just know, life coaches, because that's what I am. Just in the pit of my heart, I'm a coach. And what we learn is when we're going through our own struggles, we learn how to self coach ourselves through it. Right. So we don't play victim anymore. We no longer depend on other people to pull us out because we have the skill set and the tools to do it for ourselves, right? This is why I say everybody is a coach. Everybody needs to know that they have an inner coach and they can survive anything with your own, just tapping into your own power, tapping into who you are as a beautiful being and knowing that you can get through it. Okay. I'm gonna be looking back and forth. That's why I'm going back and forth like this. I ain't playing ping pong with my head because then I'll be dizzy. But I'm just going back and forth. Okay. What was the struggle you were going through? See, that's what I'm saying. Then y'all want to be nosy. We got folks that what's the struggle you was going through? Just an internal struggle because I was hit. I was hit. If you've been with me for the last 3 days, then you know that I was hit with my audit. So we're going through an audit here in my company, and we submitted a rebuttal. We got the rebuttal back, and it wasn't good. So I have been sitting with myself, right? I've been playing all of the negative chatter. All the negative chatter reappeared. All of the things, all of the failures of what could happen reappeared. And I had to step back into my faith and had to step back to my power and coach myself through this, right? So this is what we're going to learn how to do even on today in day 4. How do we have massive growth where we can coach ourselves through anything, any type of disappointment, any type of failure, any type of heartbreak, right? Even any type of massive growth, because even when you're massively growing, sometimes we're not prepared for it and we will shrink to it, right? It's just like, oh my gosh, I just came on TikTok because I wanted to sell this product, and I didn't know that one day I was going to wake up to 500 orders. I didn't know I was going to wake up to 500 orders. I can't fulfill that, and then you shrink back down into your shadow self and you lose the massive growth because you wasn't prepared for it. So this is not just for, all the failures and the darkness. This is also for the light. Those of us who are experiencing growth in the light, and it feels so overwhelming when it should feel good, right? You should feel joy and you should feel good. But when you don't do that inside work, you will ruin everything in your life. You'll ruin everything. Y'all, why the chat is lit over on TikTok? The chat is lit over here. I just appreciate y'all. Thank you for all of the roses and all the hearts. I mean, listen, we have 1.9 little click, click, click heart lights now. I love it. I just love the interaction. I love the interaction. So we're gonna get into day 4, and y'all know, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I'm diagnosed ADHD, so sometimes I can get off track. So I have notes to keep me on track, and I have y'all to keep me on track. So when I go off on a tangent, just be like, Master Coach, get back on track. Get back on track. That's all I need for y'all to do. Y'all can redirect me. I'm that type of leader, right? I'm on YouTube. Hey, Truth of July is on YouTube. Shout out to Truth of July. I just love it. I just love social media because it can bring us together from all different parts of the world. It don't matter whichever social media outlet floats your boat. I want you to go and be comfortable on there. And this is the other example for you guys who are running a business. Child, you need to have a street address on every channel. I don't care if you use it or not. Just go create your street address on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on list some other channels because I don't know them all. But y'all go ahead and drop other channels that you're on so people can know to go and claim that street address, with your username. So when you decide to get on there, you can go get on there. What's the opposite or solution of not shrinking when you're not prepared? What you mean, what's the opposite? The opposite is you grow. You grow with the challenge, and you don't put perfection into the growth, right? You just put progress into the growth. Um, that's where my mindset is going when I read this question over here from Facebook. When instead of shrinking because you feel like you got to have everything in place, this is good because it just hit me in my spirit. So this is going to be good. I feel sexy, right? Okay. When you're shrinking, y'all, like, oh my gosh, like, oh, they want more of me. Oh, they want me to go do a live every day. No, I can't do that because I don't feel good about myself. Oh my gosh, I have 1,000 orders. I'm only one person. I can't do that. And so you just shut down because you feel like you have to have all of this perfection in place. But you don't have to have the perfection in place. You just have to have the confidence in place, and you have to have communication. You have to have great communication tactics in place. So that means that you got to understand how to combat the ego and how to combat the pride, right? Because I'm just to hurt some of y'all feelings, but it's okay because this is all done in love. Because you've been faking and you've been showing up like you this big entity. So people are like, oh my gosh, she can handle the volume. And when the volume come, then the real truth about yourself, the authenticity about yourself come out. And child, you the only person over there running that business. And instead of communicating that to your clients, because this just happened, I shared this example in the challenge one that really happened with this company that I was dealing with, right? And so they were like, oh, we're this big company. We've been doing this all this time. And then I hit them with the stuff that I needed. And then they went ghost on me like for freaking like almost for 60 days. And I wrote them a letter. Out of love, telling them it's okay that you're a small business. All I need for you to do is communicate with me because I had such a great call with you on the first time. And I know this feels wonky. So if somebody would just communicate with me, I won't leave. And they came back. I had a meeting with them, and the woman literally just cried. And it was just like, all of my reviews are horrible now. I thought I could handle the growth, but I couldn't. And I just crumbled. And I said, all you had to do was communicate with your clients and with your customers. They will understand. We will understand, right? We understand if you just communicate with what's happening. So after I got that out of her, and then she sent this massive email to all of her clients and stuff, she called me back and she was like, who are you? Who are you? And I said, I'm a small business owner making it just like you are. And it's about progress over perfection. I don't live in that perfection part. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see how hazy this lighting is over here. Now the lighting is a little better over here on TikTok, but over here with the Facebook people and stuff, it look kind of grayish. Child, none of that bothers me. And it don't bother me. One day I'm gonna have a space where I'm gonna have great lighting, but until I progress to that, this is what you're gonna get, and I'm okay with it, right? Y'all keep tapping the screen. The people on TikTok are lit, y'all. They lit over here. Y'all ain't lit enough over here yet. So once y'all get over here and answering questions and saying you feeling me, because y'all know I be needing y'all to dialogue so I can know that y'all are here. Okay. So anyway, that was a great question, Coach Adam. Thank you for that. So day one, we talked about of the challenge, we talked about confronting our fears and then visualizing our success. And the fears that we talked about wasn't external. They were all internal fears of letting ourselves down, of being triggered, having a trigger by success, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody wants to pay me $5,000 for this. And now I got to show up. I got to give that. I got to give that, overgive the services. And I don't know if I can do that because I'm suffering from depression. I barely even get out of my bed. I ain't even took a bath this week. I haven't even done this week for myself. Y'all feeling me? Because this is the reality of doing something so beyond yourself. It's easy to get up and just go to a job every day and work it, right? They tell you what to do, you do it, you work it. They tell you what the expectations are, you do it and you work it. Versus when you're growing a business on your own, nobody tells you what to do. Nobody says, oh, you can't be depressed today. You got to show up, right? At work, you can't be depressed today because you got to show up and be productive or you're going to get fired. Y'all feeling me? So when you're running your own business, that don't get to happen because you may lose, the difference between a successful week and an unsuccessful week may be a bankruptcy. It may be a foreclosure, right? It may be late notices on your credit because you couldn't pay something within the 30-day period of time. Y'all feeling me? So this 5-day massive growth challenge, for those of you who've been rocking with me, it's all about you and what you need to grow massively and be ready for the wave. Because the wave gonna come, because we were promised abundance. We was promised prosperity. In my faith, we were. Whatever your faith is, understand that whatever the promises that you understand that was written, you're guaranteed to get it as long as you're open to receiving it. But you got to be ready for it. You got to be ready for it, okay? So we talked about confronting our fears, and we dealt with all of that mess that's in the inside of us. And then I had y'all to visualize success. We did it live right here. I had y'all to close your eyes, and we closed our eyes, and we was all up in it, y'all. We was all up in it. Like what? And I didn't have you to visualize the materialism. I didn't ask you to visualize what kind of car you wanted, what kind of house you wanted. I asked you to visualize success within your healing. That's the difference. That was the difference, y'all. The success within your healing. Where do you want to see that? Where do you want to see your health? Where do you want to see your mindset? Where do you want to see your healing in your heart of activating forgiveness, of finding joy and peace? Baby, it was lit and it was hard. It was so hard that the next day, like on Tuesday, I was like, oh my God, why are you doing this to yourself again? Why are you taking accountability of yourself again, Lakendra? Why are you being responsible for yourself again, Lakendra? I was on that shit all day Tuesday because Monday hit me so hard. Because every day I'm doing the work. Every day I'm doing the work. And I'm like, I ran into a brick wall. Why am I running into a brick wall? I'm the master coach. Because nobody is excused from just being crippled of continuously growing. You're going to grow whether you want to or not. Because no one stays the same. So we did that on day one. On day two, baby, I was scrolling like y'all be scrolling on social media, and I ran into Kanye West, as if I would ran into him on the street. That's what it felt like. It felt like I literally ran into him in real life, and we had a conversation, and I did a recording, and it's on my social media. All y'all gotta go do is go look at it, go find day two. And he was talking about how the world was trying to destroy him, but because he had the skill set, he had found his skill set, his highest level skill set, which was in music and which was in fashion. And because of that, he found people that believed in him, and he had a tribe of people till the world couldn't break him. So day two, we talked about what are our tools? What are the resources that we have? What's the skill set that we have from when your boss come in and say you fired and you don't break down in depression and start having suicidal ideations? Because that's what happens. Whenever massive shit is taken away from us, it F's us up mentally and emotionally. Suicide is real, y'all. But it's real when you feel like you don't have any answers. I don't have any answers. What is the solution? I don't have anybody in my corner. When you feel like you have no one that's real and authentic in your life, then the mind will play multiple tricks on you. Y'all feeling me? If you feeling me, drop a 1. Drop a 1 over here or send me some hearts over here. Y'all, my husband is on TikTok today, and you know his energy is gonna always surpass my energy when he supports me, and that's why I love him so freaking much. So y'all tap a 1 if y'all are feeling me on this. Tap a 1 over here, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, if you're connected. Thank you if you're connecting. And I'm just not, just talking out the side of my neck. Is that the phrase? Stop talking out the side of your neck. It feel like it is, because y'all, I be making up my own stuff too. So day 2 was a little bit lighter because I had y'all to really sit with yourself and oh, they said your ass, though it's talking out the side of your ass. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, I made the whole thing fall. Sorry, TikTok over here. Okay. That threw me off. That threw me off over here on Facebook. Okay, y'all. So I had us to tap into the essence of who we are, like the beautifulness of who we are. Because don't y'all know we're all beautiful? Like, you're beautiful. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? That you're so beautiful and you're so uniquely designed, and you only have your own design. Yes, we have similarities, but when you tap into your highest creative self, like Kanye was saying, can't nobody, shit, I'm the best. Can't nobody do music like I do music. Can't nobody do fashion like I do fashion. Can't nobody do what? Type it in the comments. Can't nobody do what like you do, right? Can't nobody do what like you do. Can't nobody hold space like I can hold space for other people. Oh, I'm bad to the bone at it. What do you do so uniquely well? Can't nobody love and forgive like I have learned how to do. I think I'm pretty dynamic at it now. Right? Can't nobody what? Bake that cake. Bake a chocolate cake like I can bake. Can't nobody debate like I can debate. What can't nobody do like you can do? What can't nobody do? Hey, y'all. I see y'all popping in on here. And I see y'all tuning in on the background too. TikTok. So y'all need to stop that. Y'all sitting on the background and not coming to the room, but we can see all that too. So y'all might as well just come on in here and participate. What can't nobody do? Can't nobody connect with kids like I do. Come on. Can't nobody connect with community like I do. This is what I'm talking about over here. Can't nobody do it like you do. That's your highest level of skill set that you want to always have. So when somebody come in and say, I don't need you no more. Hello, my sucky friend. How are you? Shout out to Just Suck It. So those of you who ever been to my house and you see them succulents all over my house, that's where I purchased them from Just Suck It. Y'all go ahead and follow her. She's amazing. Amazing business owner. So what can't nobody do because you are so confident of doing it? Can't nobody do it. And that's what Kanye had told us. I'm telling you, I just felt like that conversation was for me, even though he wasn't having it with me. He was having it with TMZ. He was having it with TMZ. So we talked about gathering our tools, our skill set, and being unbreakable with them. So whenever we need to pivot, we can pivot. What's up, Coach Giorgio? I see you on here. So when it's time to pivot, we could pivot. Y'all feeling me? So day 3, day 3, even for me, was a little boring. Okay. Because because everything can't be fire, right? We want everything. Oh my gosh, what is the next greatest phrase? What's that big word she's going to use? I need to write the profound quote. Everything can't be profound. Everything can't be big and amazing. Sometimes we just got to chill out, right? So day 3 was a little boring for me, because what we talked about in day 3 was really just kind of tapping into our own stories and connecting with other people's stories and seeing how they triumphant through it. So I talked about, because it's Black History Month, so I just kind of talked about all different type of Black history leaders who went from rags to riches, or from, tore down to their ultimate self. And I just had everybody, every time I went over a new person, I had everybody to say, if they can do it, I can do it. Right. And then y'all say, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. And then, we kind of shared our own stories. And I was like, listen to my story. If I can do it, you can do it. And y'all was like, if she can do it, I can do it. So we did 90 minutes of that. Y'all. But it was needed. But it wasn't my most fun day. Right. Like day 1 and 2, baby, were my fun days. Day 3, day 4, yeah, it's about to go down today. Day 4, we're talking about eliminating. So get your pens and your paper together. We're talking about eliminating, y'all. Eliminating what, Master Coach? Because after I've taught you how to tap into your fears and visualize where you are now and where you're trying to be, where you're striving to be in your vision, you will be able to see that, oh, I want to be, a 7-figure business. Oh, I want to be a better mama. Oh, I want to be a better daddy. Oh, I want to manage, I don't want to run my own business, but I want to be in management. And I had y'all to visualize that. And then I had you to look at your life right now today and say, what's keeping you from getting there right now today? If I told you that your future, the future that you see right now literally exists tomorrow, it literally exists tomorrow. Who do you got to become right now today to get it tomorrow? Who do you got to become? Can you become it that fast? Right? Can you get past the trauma that fast? Can you get past the limited beliefs that fast? Can you get past the low self-esteem that fast? Can you get past all the negative, stinking, freaking thinking that you be having in your mind that fast? If I said tomorrow is the future and you can literally have that shit tomorrow, can you get to it that fast? Most of y'all answers going to be no. No. So, since most of your answers is going to be no, today we're going to talk about eliminating. Because I'm gonna show you exactly how to get there that fast if you got to. Because we're not promised these other days. We're not promised it. Y'all know that, right? We're so out of touch of reality. We be putting shit off like we got all the time in the world. That's being out of touch with reality. That's being out of touch with your faith. Because we don't have a whole lot of time. We don't have a whole lot of time to stay in sadness, to stay in resentment, to stay in unforgiveness, to stay unhealed. We don't have a lot of time to keep staying in the bed with the covers over your head, to keep blocking yourself and keeping yourself from expanding and growing, to not go on that vacation that you've been yearning to go on, to not go and buy, the purse that you want or the car that you want, to not sit down and go back and forgive your parents and your siblings. Child, we don't have all the time you think we have. So today we're going to talk about eliminating, because I'm going to help you get there faster. So what are we going to be eliminating? A lot of trauma, a lot of darkness, a lot of self-hate, a lot of judgment. And I'm going to help you to do that because we're going to talk about boundaries. The way that when you eliminate, then boundaries got to come in place. eliminate, boundaries got to come in place. Because when you eliminate and you don't put a boundary in place, then it comes back. Coach Giorgio said, let's talk about it. It's going to come back on you. So this is going to be a little bit deeper today. So I need for y'all to stay with me, right? I need for y'all to ask questions if I say something and it may not click. And then maybe I need to re-say it a different way. So we need the dialogue. We're going to have to dialogue like that. Okay. If y'all are on board, say one. And I'm just going to give you another bottle of water. If y'all are on board with me, put a one in the chat. If y'all are on board with me, put a one in the chat. I love this booty seat, y'all. When I tell you my sciatica is just, woo! Where does it come from? Okay, I see ones everywhere. All right. I see y'all. Y'all on here listening. So let's get into this eliminating, y'all. So when we're talking about eliminating trauma, look up trauma reenactment. Okay, go look up that term, trauma reenactment. Because we experience trauma every single day. Even social media imposes trauma on us. Because we see gun violence on here. We see people coming on here crying and talking about, how they losing their house and they need money. And all that stuff invades us emotionally. We see people on here. I just became a subscriber. Come on through, subscriber. When I tell they acting a fool over here on TikTok. Come on, subscriber. Oh my gosh. Look at my emotes. I've never seen them before because you're my first subscriber ever. I love it. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to it. This is beautiful. I love it. So hold on, y'all. Hold on over here. Okay. I know y'all are with me too, but these people over here is showing out. Okay, focus. So when we're talking about the trauma that we experience, the trauma from our childhood, the trauma from being in relationships with people who are also experiencing trauma, the trauma that we pick up from pursuing our dreams, and we may get caught up in the wrong dream because that ain't the dream we should have been in anyway. All of these things impact us emotionally, and when we're impacted emotionally, it drives how we live life. It drives our behaviors. It drives our decision making. Y'all following me? If you're following me, put a one in the chat. Just drop it. Put a one in the chat. So when I said to look up trauma reenactment, because when we're talking about triggers, right? When we're talking about triggers, y'all, the triggers are coming from the trauma that we experience indirectly or directly. It reappears where now, anxiety is up, fear is happening, all types of things. The chemical breakdown in our body happens. So this is my background, by the way. Like, oh, who the hell she thinks she is? My whole background has been in human behavior and growth. I went to school for psychology. I was in my PhD for it. My whole 30 years of professional work before I became a full-time entrepreneur has all been in this. Okay, so there's that disclaimer. So when we're talking about trauma reenactment, the brain, which no one really has a full explanation of the brain. I don't care how much scientific research we've done and all of the things, the brain somehow stores all of this trauma directly or indirectly, where it turns off and on like a television or like a light switch or like a faucet, right? And sometimes when it turns off and on, let's use a faucet, for example, because a faucet can still drip if it's not prepared properly. So let's just say it turns off, right? And you're functioning fine. And then boom, somebody comes into your life directly or indirectly, because it could be through social media or it could be personally in your life, and they're carrying this emotion. that you have escaped from, or you have healed from, or you are currently in, and immediately you're triggered. That's trauma reenactment. And why is it reenactment? Because most traumas that we experience, we attract it. We've re-attracted it because the mind, that's why I don't deal with mindset. I deal with heart set, because the heart for me won't fail you from the truth. It'll feel saddened, it'll feel burdened, it'll feel happy, and then you can communicate with the brain to make the decision. So when we're talking about eliminating so we can set the proper boundaries, that's even in how you are communicating with other people, or allowing things to affect you, to allow the trauma to reenact and play against who you are emotionally. Does this make sense to y'all? Because sometimes you can know something, that don't mean that you can teach it. So if it makes sense to y'all, drop a 2 in the comment. So mindfully, subconsciously, unconsciously, right? We are attracting these things. What? Come on, money gun. Money gun? Who does that? Who does that on a personal development live? Come on through, money gun over here, baby. I think I may hit some type of live success, right? I may hit some type of live success over here on TikTok. Thank you. So, and remember, I told y'all over here, if y'all not following each other, go follow each other, because these people on here are real, and you want to connect with people who are real. Even over here on Facebook and on Instagram, go ahead and see who's on here and follow each other, because y'all are real. Y'all see you're communicating. You want to really connect with real people. So let's get back to this trauma, reenactment, right? So you're being attracted to things that you were traumatized from, and you don't even notice that it's happening. And boundaries, surface level, is you did something to me, I'm gonna check you on it, and boom, that's setting a boundary. Okay. Boundaries are I no longer want this in my life, so I'm not going to associate with those things anymore. That's my boundary. Boom. But now we're talking about emotional boundaries today. Boundaries that's being constantly mobilized by others' emotions. How do you eliminate that? How do you put a boundary up with that? Especially when most of these things is people that you love. It comes from people that you love. Hey, Kevin G. So how do we put those boundaries up when it's an emotional trigger from trauma, from your trauma? So now it's impacting your behavior and your emotions, to now it's causing a conflict with the other person, or a lingering conflict that's going to impact everybody else around you. Are y'all following me? Because this is deep and real. So give me an example, Master Coach, because sometimes you be talking in the woo-woo land. Okay. I'm on social media, and I'm scrolling. And I lost and let's just say I lost my mom to heart disease. This is a real example. I lost my mom to heart disease. Okay. And I'm on social media, and I'm scrolling. And I really ain't dealt with the loss of my mama from heart disease, right? I've dealt with it, but I'm just giving you an example. And I see an ad, or I see someone who's on here, and they're talking about heart disease, and how heart disease is, they can't manage it, and they're on all types of medications. And my brain, because my brain understands that trauma, instead of me scrolling past it, now I'm zoned in on it. And I'm looking, like I'm paying attention to it too. And it impacts my whole mood, because it takes me back from when my mom passed away from heart disease, when I had to go to her house and have the fire department come in because she had the deadbolt on, and the dog is in there barking, 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 and the fire department had to cut a hole in the wall to put their hand in to take the deadbolt off, and then go in and find my mom, unliving, because I know we gotta there's certain things that we can say on social media. Unliving, not breathing. And I immediately, the traumatic part of me, the reenactment, it just takes place, consciously or subconsciously. It's taking place. So when I talk about putting boundaries in place, I'm talking about putting boundaries in place for your emotional self. Because it's like, I want to stay on and listen to her live because I can send her all these things that I went through, right? Because we're always wanting to save other people because we were so unsaved. We didn't heal properly. I didn't accept. Y'all stop showing out over here, okay? I didn't accept the death. I'm angry with God. Why'd you take my mama so she was still so young? All of the things. Y'all feeling me? All of the things. So when I say eliminating, we have to eliminate those things that we know that we're still traumatized by. And thank God that I've healed through that. Because I was all types of angry. So you have to understand how others' emotions impact yours. It's no difference than, that was a sad example. Now let me give you a happy example. You're on social media and you're scrolling, or you have a friend that's always happy. Even in their worst state of life, they find some freaking silver lining. They just always freaking happy. And their happiness affects you. And so you just like, oh my gosh, you do too much. You always happy. Like, damn, do anything ever bother you? I mean, come on, some of y'all feel it because someone has either been that way towards you or you've been that way towards somebody else. So your emotional trauma, having lack of joy, having lack of happiness, makes their happiness and joy trigger you. Now you're going to become a hater. Now you're a hater. And now you want to dim my joy and my happiness. This is shit I'm talking about today. So those boundaries that I'm talking about, understanding what's triggering you, so the boundary that you can have is with yourself, not with other people. Hey, Annette. Hey, Mary. You hear me, Coach Adam? Whoever else on here, you hear me, Truth of July? You hear me, Millie, Bessie, Liz? Y'all, all of y'all haven't said who you are over here. But the boundary is the surface boundary is with other people. You just you eliminate everybody. I'm cutting everybody off. But that's not the boundary that's gonna help you to rise to massive growth. The boundary that needs to take place is the boundary within self. Your trauma of being traumatized, or the lack of receiving things that you feel that you desire, right? For another example, it's like a couple and the relationship is great. And then all of a sudden, and I'm talking about the relationship being great. Let's just give it like a 3-year or more relationship, because 3 years is a long time to be with somebody. 3 years or more. Everything is great. Y'all doing everything together. Ain't no cheating, ain't no nothing. Y'all just boom, boom, you're living life and everything is freaking amazing. And then one of the partners goes out and, does something that will cause heartache with the other person. So boom, trauma immediately happens in the relationship. So now you have this real emotion that's going on, that's playing in the person that was traumatized, right? The first thought, the heart is gonna tell you, like, this don't feel good. I don't want to not feel good, but the mind will say, yeah, but we need to have compassion. I don't want to learn nothing new. The mind does not want anything new. It want to be content. I don't want nothing new. Let's just deal with it. Let's have compassion. Let's do some forgiveness. But the heart is like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So now we're in conflict with heart and mind of setting the boundary from the emotion. Y'all following me? Who normally wins? The mind does, because the mind is so strong. So now you're sitting in, okay, I'm going to sit this out. I'm going to stay. And boom, it happens again. So you have this trauma reenactment constantly, because maybe you haven't really sat down and really got to the root of, why did this happen in our relationship? It was so beautiful. And it keeps happening. It keeps happening because you won't set the boundary. And the boundary, and most times is the boundary, y'all follow me. The boundary most times is in, why do you feel you deserve it? TikTok, why do you feel you deserve it? It don't have nothing to do with the person that is causing the trauma, because apparently they operating in their happiness. You the person that's impacted. So the boundary that needs to be put in place is not with the person, it's with you. Your internal emotions. Who you gonna keep listening to, the mind or the heart? Who gonna win? Who you want to win? And the more and more and more you live in trauma, the more and more and more it disconnects you from the heart. To the heart, just be like, F it, shit, I give up. I give up. There's no talking to you. There's no negotiating with you. I give up. If this what we want, then this is it. If I gotta play the game with you, then I'm gonna play the game with you. And it shuts down on you. And you keep living, and you keep attracting, and you keep living in the trauma and attracting the trauma. And that's the realness, y'all. That's why we got to work on elimination. What we eliminate, Master Coach? Y'all ask me. Can somebody write it in the chat? What are we eliminating, Master Coach? So I can answer the question. What are we eliminating? What are we eliminating? We are eliminating all of our emotional baggage that's keeping us from massive growth in love, massive growth in having joy and peace and abundance, massive growth of knowing that you don't have to choose suffering just because you feel that you can save another being. You can't save anybody. They have to be in a position of receiving the help and saving themselves. You can only position yourself to give them love and compassion, but you need to still create the emotional boundary within yourself so you don't keep getting affected by them. Yeah. So sometimes you got to be apart and allow them to go through their own trauma. It's the truth. Sometimes, there got to be a break. Y'all know when I go silent, I'm in reflection. I literally can reflect in real time. Whenever you're there, when I tell you, like, I'm so grateful for God working on me, and I'm so grateful that I accepted God working on me to the point where I can just reflect in mid sentence and see myself, see where I am and where I need to grow as I'm teaching this shit. Like, even when I'm teaching the life coach certification for leaders, I'm constantly, even in reflection when I'm teaching it. You should be constantly in reflection when you are living every day. Even because I'm not even perfect, y'all. That's the thing. Hey Matt. Hey Coach Matt. I'm not even perfect. So I be having to redirect myself too. And if you haven't created a space where you can eliminate in real time, right? Eliminate the energy, the negative energy that's coming out of you, and redirect yourself in real time, then you're not there yet. Emotionally, you're not there yet. I even say it to business owners. When you can when you set yourself up and you know you're giving false information about your business and you can't redirect that, you're going to cause a lot of damage in your business. Y'all feeling me? Hey, Stephanie, you on TikTok over here, girl? You normally over here on Facebook, but you want to join me on TikTok? I love it. So day 4 of the challenge, talking about elimination, has everything to do with still you. I'm not going to give y'all an opportunity to keep playing the victim. I'm not going to give us the opportunity to keep playing victim. I'm not going to give us the opportunity to still keep putting it off on somebody else. The 5-day massive growth challenge is all about you. Those of you who have been with me for 4 days, you already know this by now. Like, damn, here she go again, making me be responsible for me, making me be responsible for reflecting and growing. You're responsible. You're responsible for your emotional boundaries, not the boundary of, I'm done with you. I told you, if you stepped on my toe again and say, excuse me, that's a boundary and you're out of here. Boundaries ain't about that. That's the reason why you keep reattracting your traumatic reenactment. Because it's easy to speak about it, but to go emotionally into it, to say, why did this trigger me? Where is this coming from that I'm triggered? That I have to respond negatively or with another emotion that's going to match energy. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate that term. I hate that term. Oh, I match energy. No, you do not. Stop matching energy. Because if that energy is below your frequency, then that means you have lowered your frequency. Y'all feeling me over here? Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, because the chat over here on TikTok is crunk. Look, Coach Matt said that's it, because it is it, y'all. I just be thinking about how much growing I've done and the growing that I need to still do. Where I am right now and truly where it is that I envision myself, which is my future tomorrow, I'm living every day today. So if God wake up and say, oh, the visions that you've been visualizing starts today, I'm ready for it. You got to be ready for it. Because most of us are shrinking because we asking for these things and the universe is saying, you know what? He ready for it. She ready for it. But when it get here, all hell break loose because you wasn't ready for it. And then you create the trauma. And then it's your husband's fault. because he wants you to watch the kids, clean up, cook, and go to work. It's everybody's fault. It's your mama and them fault because they wanted you to go in this direction. If they just supported me, then I wouldn't be this way. It's your kids' fault because all they do is want, and I don't have time for myself, and so I have to just wait till I become an empty nester before I can start living my dreams. No, it's you. It's you and the choices that you've allowed from staying in spaces that you've grown from. Stop trying to fix other people and fix yourself. That's the challenge. What responsibility do I need for myself? No longer blaming other people and holding people accountable for your lack of growth. Because I'm telling y'all, if y'all can apply day 1 to 4 already, day 1 to 4 right now, I promise you, and this is a promise, if you can apply day 1 to 4, you put the action, go back and look at it, write down the things that I said in day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, put it into action. Second quarter of this year, it's going to take about 30 days to adapt to it. This is the caveat that people are not going to give you. They're not going to give you the real game because they want you to come in and pay them for it. I don't got time for that. I really run a big company and I really don't have time. I can't do one-on-one with y'all or none of that. That's why I'm doing this 5-day challenge. I'm giving it to you for free. It's going to take 30 days to activate because limited beliefs are going to come into play. Negative self-talk, procrastination and laziness, all that shit fits to start happening. You so pumped up now, like I can do it. And then life is going to happen. And then the laziness going to come, procrastination, the limited beliefs, all of the things just going to start pouring down on you. And none of it is going to happen. So you got to give yourself 30 days to operate in resiliency. Because I'm telling you, and you're going to be like, dang, she told me it was going to happen. Your boyfriend going to start acting a fool. Your husband going to start acting a fool. Your wife going to start acting a fool. Your girlfriend going to start acting a fool. They're going to be wanting this high demand from you. Like all the things are going to start happening. And you're going to be like, dang, she told me that. So I'm preparing you for the game. It's just like having the manual already by your side. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the manual. Ooh, Master Coach said this was going to happen, but baby, I got something for it. What you got for it? Day 1 of the challenge. The fear. Understanding you're facing the fear. What? 975? You better cut it out. So y'all go ahead and share this out then with them 975 followers. Go ahead and share this out. I love it. Y'all are already sharing it out over here on Facebook. I love it. I really appreciate y'all. But let's just tap back into it because I told y'all I was bored yesterday teaching this stuff. But today I was like, yes, redeem myself. Because we have to take control of the trauma. Trauma is not always this big. Sometimes trauma is this big. It could be that, you was working a job that you really, really love. And then, because the job chose themselves over their employees and now you're in a layoff. That's trauma. That's trauma all day long. It's trauma that you ain't gained 10 pounds. Where it come from? It's trauma that you caught COVID. That's trauma in the body. It's trauma that, you got to irrate. So trauma is this big or this small. It don't matter. It's trauma. But how do you deal with it emotionally? So when you're triggered or when you're attracting, you don't put it off on the other person. You keep it with you. Keep it with you. Remember I said in day 3 that there's 100% of life, right? This is 100% of life. And then when I dissect 10% out, then there's 10% you cannot control. I'm gonna keep you with the 90%. But how fair is that? I don't think it's fair. So I figured it out. I was 28 years old when I figured this out. So what I did was I gave myself back the 10%, right? I was in this powerful mentorship program. And Monk Tashi taught me how to do it. Give yourself back the 10% and keep the 100%. Well, how do I do that, Monk Tashi? He said you got to be massively responsible for yourself. You got to be massively responsible for your emotions. You have to be massively responsible for what it is that you desire in your life. Then that way, when you attach yourself to your faith, when you attach yourself to your values and your principles, nothing can break you. And I was like, what? I was 28. And now I'm 48. Do you feel me? Baby, I've been operating like this for a long time. This is why I can teach it. This is why I can share this with you. A lot of you are holding on and you're not eliminating. Why? Why, Master Coach? Well, because I told you, everythings don't have a freaking why. Because the mind is so manipulative. When God created us, man, I don't even know if he do. Like, I don't even know if he knew some of this stuff that we was going to experience. Because they say, oh, God knows all things. But I don't know. Because we can't have all of the answers. Isn't that the beauty? Maybe that's the beauty of God. Maybe we don't need all of the answers. Maybe it is having faith of a mustard seed. Maybe all that stuff we just got to get into. Y'all feeling me? Y'all, 90 minutes. Y'all know we going for 90 minutes. We almost there. I asked y'all, if I gave y'all $1 million and asked, can you speak for 90 minutes? What would your topic be on? What would your topic be on? Because, honey, we on 1 hour, 7 minutes. And we still deep into it. Like, I still got y'all deep into it. You know why? Because you're in reflection. Coach Max said, you doing good. Thank you. You're in reflection. Whenever you can put somebody in reflection, then that means spiritually we're connected. Emotionally, energetically, we're connected. Because now I got to figure this out. I got to figure out how to eliminate. How I do it, Master Coach. It's a practice that cannot stop. My oldest coach was 73 years old. And he said something. He was so wise. He passed away two years ago. And Coach Phillip was so wise. And he said, LaKendra, you know the reason why you certified? I joined your school. And I said, why? He said, because I made up in my mind that I could never stop growing. I could never stop learning. I could never stop pursuing my dreams. And that changed my life. Everything be changing my life. Baby, I don't got to read books because I do community. I don't got to read 1,000 books in order to know. I experience real life. I need for y'all to start experiencing real life. Start interacting with more people. Don't you know that they tried to break us from that? Society tried to break us from interacting physically with each other. That's where you get the most energy from people. Don't you know we was created to exchange energies? Yeah, we can do it through the highways and the byways on social media, but it ain't nothing like you can personally do it. And when Coach Phillip got certified, he was in the Philippines. My partner in the Philippines certified him. I met him through a Zoom. And then I flew my butt to the Philippines to meet him. Because we feel we restricted. No, you ain't restricted. You just got to take massive action. Massive. Somebody said on here, massive is the word. Not mediocre action. Not that. Not the half-ass doing action. Not the when you want to do it action. Baby, I'm talking about massive action. If you want to really work on eliminating the things that you know, baby, only you know, and you don't even know, I would say you only know maybe 75%. But the beauty of it is when you tap into your faith. So let's talk about faith real quick, because it plays a part in this, right? Because I teach about faith inside of the certification. Without it, I don't know what you're gonna do. That's the reason why you're struggling. That's the reason why you on a roller coaster ride with your emotions, because something has to ground you that may make sense or it may sound woo-woo and you really don't know if it's working, but I'm just gonna have to believe it because it's only got 75% control. Where the other 25% coming from? That's when you have faith the size of a mustard seed. If you just believe this word where I say that I am the healer, right? That's when you start co-creating with your faith. Remember, I told you I'm a God girl, so I will mention God. I'm a co-creator with God because I believe, I'm just gonna say dude, because it sounds sexy when I can just say that dude. I just believe that dude when he said, I am the healer. I am abundance. I am your prosperity. So because that's my faith and I believe, then I have to know that the other 25% is just good. I have to know it. I have to believe it. And then when you start operating in it and you start seeing the miracles, you steadfast, unmovable. Y'all feeling me? You got to have faith in this eliminating process. If you don't have faith in this eliminating process, that 25% is going to be real wonky for you. That 25%, I don't know. This is what I'm going to say. I don't know. I have coaches who are Catholics. I have coaches who are atheists. And this is what I ask them. Well, what do you believe being an atheist? What are your core values and your principles? Do you have them? And when they say it, and I'll be like, oh, well, you good. I don't have to have any judgment against them because all I got to worry about is me and what I need to believe in. That's making them a good person. Shit, they invested in themselves to be a better person. If you come through my school, you invested in yourself to be a better person. Because this is how we talk. This is how we get down in here. I need for you to take massive action for your own personal growth. If you can take massive action for your own personal growth, you're going to be good. When you can put yourself in love, you're going to be good. Your outfit. Are you talking? Wait a minute. So, are you talking about the outfit from yesterday or you talking about the outfit from today, the love outfit? Because you know that outfit from yesterday was, I'm going to say it was cute. It was too cute. Thank you, girl. No judgment, but better have something. You better have something. Thank you. Because we got to get away from that. Remember, judgment comes from your disconnect. It's like you're climbing the ladder, right? You get to this part of the ladder and there's no, steps. And you trying to jump from here to here. This is what judgment looks like. There's no steps and you're trying to jump from here to here. The gap right here is your disconnect from understanding somebody else's story. And that's the problem. So because you can't jump from here to here, because baby, you ain't got disconnected. Then you go into this, oh, I got to climb back down. And because you got to climb back down, don't have nothing to do with them. Y'all didn't know that, did you? So because you feel like, damn, how did they get up there? Why do they believe that? Why? Why is that working for them? Why is co-parenting working for them? You're not supposed to co-parent. You're in a broken home now. You said, God said that when you divorce and you y'all be putting God is nothing but love. So he ain't said that. Because happiness right here. They said, well, we're not together. He and she can see whoever they want to see. But when it comes to our kids, we still together and we happy. And then because you can't build them steps right there, you go back down, and then now you in judgment because you don't understand them. That's why judgment exists. That's why the negativity exists. So remove yourself from trying to understand and just connect with yourself. That's all you got to do. This massive growth challenge is all about you. Going back into your fears. What part of you is keeping you from growing? Going back into the skill sets that you have. So when things are stripped away from you, you can activate your skill set. I'm talking about your top of the line skill set, like what Kanye said. Oh, they tried to destroy me, but they forgot that I'm bad to the bone when it comes to music and fashion, and I got a community that support me. That's why you got to have a community that supports you, and you have to know what your top of the line skill set is. So when society is trying to break you, all you got to do is tap in. That's all you got to do is tap in. Tap in. Oh, we no longer need you no more. Oh, that's okay. Let me just go on and get my bottles of Fiji out. Let me start marketing because I got something else for y'all. You forgot? I forgot. I'm okay. I'm okay. So that's what we're talking about. This is all I'm trying to teach y'all. I'm just trying to give y'all the real game without the fluff, because the fluff be breaking us down. But I want to give y'all the real game so you can take massive action. Top of the line skill and community. Yes. That was me when they fired me from corporate. Yes. Yes. Hey Brianna, y'all are on it with me. Y'all get this. They forgot I was massive. Yes. Because subconsciously, when you're connected to somebody that is not equally yoked to your energy, in their subconscious mindset, not their conscious mindset, so y'all follow me on this, because everybody ain't out to get you. But trauma is the trauma that resides in other people that has been untouched. Well, what does that mean? The trauma that has not been worked on, the trauma that has not been healed, sits in a person's unconscious and subconscious mindset, and that is the person that's dealing with you, not the real person, y'all. That's why you got to stop taking things personally and create them boundaries within yourself so you don't take things personally with other people, because everybody ain't out to get us. But trauma want to stay trauma. Yes, the energetic boundaries. Trauma want to stay connected to trauma. Remember, misery love company. Y'all pass out the sayings, y'all. Pass them out. Birds of the feather flock together. Because because even two traumatic people can have massive growth. Two traumatic people can have the same massive growth. It may not be positive growth, but baby, it's growing. It's growing. So if I can, I'm looking like this play like I'm trauma. Y'all know I'm so animated, right? I'm trauma and I'm looking for my other trauma. I'm just looking for it. Oh, there he is. Boom. And my emotional self invades your trigger because you done called me over. You like, hey, trauma. And that's how trauma connect with each other, because trauma can't connect with you if you don't invite it in. Take that welcome home or welcome. What's that damn mat that you people be having in front of their house? I just think that's the worst mat to have in front of your house. Welcome in. That is that what it be saying? Because y'all know I be making stuff up. Welcome to my home. If you got a welcome to my home mat on the front of your house, go change it. Because that means you just welcoming in everything. You don't want that. That's how I be thinking sometimes. I just think like everything is psychologically, put up against us. I don't want a welcome to my home mat on the front of my door. Because that means that a stranger can walk on my porch and be like, oh, I'm welcome in here. No, I don't know where your energy is. No, you're not, sir, ma'am. But when trauma is looking and lurking, and then your trigger from your trauma say, hey, I'm over here, you welcomed it in. That's how it go. That's how it go, y'all. But let's just say you in awareness. You're in constant awareness and reflection of who you authentically are. So you see the trauma coming. You see the trauma coming. And you said, I can't save you, my brother. I can't save you, my sister. I gotta shit. I'm still working on who I am. We can't mix the semen in the eggs together. This keep your semen, I'm gonna keep my eggs. We ain't gonna be able to do it. We ain't gonna be able to do it. And you close that door. That's what eliminating looks like. Solid licking is right. It's look. That's what it's doing to you, baby. No, it because listen, people, my heart community. It's like even from our parents. Let's just say you had a parent that was emotionally abusive or physically abusive, was an alcoholic or a drug addict. And you said to yourself, but you were impacted by that trauma. So now it's embedded in your brain. And all you said when you were younger was, I will never be like them. I would never be like my mama. I will never be like my father. But then you coexist with friends that are like them. They're probably abusive, they probably alcoholics or whatever. So even though you may not have become it, the people in your life, why? Because we attract things that have traumatized us. And that's the part of the brain that scientists just can't figure it out. They don't understand it. And your spouse is that way. Your kids may be that way. Your neighbor, but it's still embedded in you. Because you have not put up the boundary of constantly being mobilized by others' emotions. You got to stop making it look sexy to you subconsciously. Well, how do I do that, Master Coach? You recognize it in the heart. You out with a friend, they get drunk, that shit should trigger you like, oh, I'm gonna make sure they get home today, but I dealt with this shit with my mama and my daddy. I'm gonna make sure they get home safe today, and I'm gonna have a conversation with that friend on tomorrow and say, if this is how you are, we can't hang out no more. We can't hang out anymore. That was too much for me. Because I didn't even know that was going to trigger me, and it has. So I'm gonna need for you to get help. Not you trying to help them. Stop trying to save everybody, because that's the part of the boundaries that people won't teach. You got to allow people. This is why I love coaching, because coaching will give you back your power. So if you tell that friend, listen, I can't do it with you like that no more, but you should possibly get some help for yourself. I can maybe help you research it, but we can't go out no more. I can't do that with you. Then that's what eliminating looks like. It's what eliminating looks like. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful when you can recognize the thing that will keep you from growing massively instead of marrying it? You noticed it when you was dating. But if we go back to the human needs, that's a whole other training. But I still got some time because we at 12:48. I mean, we at 1:45. I mean, 25 hours, 25 minutes. Instead of you thinking that you can save it because you want to nurture the trauma that you wasn't able to nurture when you were going through it. I wasn't able to nurture my mom's drug addiction. I was too young. So now I have the ability to nurture you through it. It ain't gonna work. It's not. It's not, y'all. It's not gonna work. What you got to do is you got to set the emotional boundary of the trauma, the traumatization, if that's a word, that you're experiencing from their trauma, and not marry them, not stay in the relationship with them, not stay at that job, not reside in that community. You gotta massively make a move. It has to be a massive move. And you can't allow the fear to stop you. We talked about fear in day one of the challenge. Go back and watch the replay. What's the fear? The fear of, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose everybody, because it don't have anything to do with anything but what's happening inside of you. Y'all with me on it? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are with me. Because sometimes this stuff can do this. What the hell is she talking about? It can do it. It can do it. Y'all good over here? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are good over here. This is the reason why my business, I think it's one of the hardest businesses in the world. My profession, the helping profession. Because who want to be in reflection all damn day? Who want to constantly be a reflection of, I got to self-improve. Oh, I don't like this by myself. I got to get rid of this. I have to stop having trauma reenactment, like that lady said that was on social media. I got to be constantly eliminating. Don't nobody want to do the work. So I have the hardest profession in the world. I have to deal with the people who say, oh, I'm good. But then in their next breath say, I just don't ever have a good relationship. I mean, I'm estranged from my parents. I don't talk to my brother or my sister. I'm always falling out with friends. But you good? Here's a good one. I have this one person that I know who she's a branding specialist, and she works with, like models and those type of things. Like, she helps people feel their best, but she won't take a full body picture. Y'all follow me now? I never forget. I was like, girl, let's take a picture. She was like, oh, you can't give me full body. And I'm like, but ain't this what you do for people? Yeah, I just do it for other people, but girl, I'm still working on myself. I don't do full body. Like, she was aggressive about it. I don't do full body. You could just take this right here. She thought that was a boundary that she was putting up. And I had to tell her, because, sometimes I just have to let the master coach in me shine. And I said, so you think this is a boundary? The boundary that you need to deal with is inside of you. It's that lack of confidence. It's that insecurity. It's that body shaming that you're doing onto yourself, and the energy that you don't even know that you passing on to your clients. You may want to take a break from this right now, and just for about 40 days, 45 days, where you can step into awareness of yourself and able to redirect that energy so you ain't pushing it off on other people. Because I can only imagine you looking at one of your clients and they may not look the ladder. Remember, we climbing up the ladder and here's the gap now. And then instead of you putting your best foot in and being the best branding agent for them, you don't put your best foot in because you ain't got to this gap because you can't even take a full body picture. And now you effing them up. What y'all saying? What y'all saying over here? This is why I can't. This is why I don't come on here and do this all the time. I just stay in the tribe. I stay in my community. I stay in my tribe, and I teach within. Because they know what they're gonna get. They're gonna get the most authentic part of me. Because if I can give you the most authentic part of me, I'm gonna demand the most authentic part of you. And I allow you to F up all day long. My tribe will tell you because nobody is perfect. We're going to, but I want y'all to get into a position of being responsible for when you F up. To be responsible to go back and say, I'm sorry. To be responsible to go back and say, you know what? I know I sold you that. I showed up half-assed. Let me give you your money back, or let me do something for you. Let me make it right. That's being responsible. That's not being perfect. It's being in progression of your most highest and sexiest self. I just think when you live there, then you don't have insecurities anymore. They're there, but you're not going to allow them to take over you. Don't you know I have insecurities, but I'm not going to allow them to take over me because I believe in what my word said. I believe in what God promised me. And remembering day one, I told y'all how I be talking to that dude. Like, you told me to do this, I did it, so this is what I expect. When you gonna give it to me? Run it up. That's how you should be co-creating in life. And that's day number 4, y'all. Y'all got homework to do. Day number 4 of the 5-day massive growth challenge is I need for you to sit down and evaluate as much trauma that you can evaluate. Think of triggers you've had in the last 30 days because it should still be in your mind. If you have short time memory lapse, think of this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What are triggers that have been happening that has put you into an emotional state of being where it kind of took you off your game? I need for y'all to journal it out. This is the homework assignment. Journal it out because that's the trauma that's being reenacted. And if let's just say you didn't have a good week and you really can't think of nothing right now, because you know the mind will make you feel that you're perfect. The mind will make you feel that you got all the shit together, so it ain't gonna make you go back. Like, girl, we good. Man, we good. So you won't think of nothing. So now I want you to say, well, go back to your last relationship, go back to your mama, your daddy, go back to your siblings, and write down the things that you hated that they did. Because that's part of your trauma. Sometimes we don't want to just look at ourselves and call ourselves out like that. So I'm going to give you another method to the madness. Go look at the other people that coexist in your life and you write down the stuff that you don't like about them that impacts you. Y'all feeling me? Hey, Drea, hey. So that's your homework because tomorrow is it, y'all. We're going to be on day 5 of this massive growth challenge. And we're going to bring it on home because we got one more month in Q1 of 2024. One more month. And then we just to pivot on over to Q2. I need for your 3 months in Q2 to be massive. And then you come back and you give me testimonials. Because remember, I ain't just to upsell you nothing. I just need for this to happen because the world is like on some real darkness right now. We had a whole shooting yesterday on Love Day. Why is you out here having a mass shooting on Love Day? Why? But this is the state of emergency that we're in. And stop thinking that you are exempt from being impacted indirectly by things. Because when God created us, baby, He created us with the same thought, with the same voice, with the same everything. So we are all connected with each other. I was on the live yesterday when that popped up on my feed, and I immediately just went into a heartache. Y'all feel me? I love the heart community. You know why I love y'all? Because we're responsible. We have taken the pledge to say, you know what, Master Coach, you right. I gotta stop blaming everybody, and I gotta put it. I'm gonna carry the weight. But the beautiful thing about carrying the weight is you place yourself inside of a community that understands the weight that you're carrying. I'm gonna end with this story about the weight. I'm gonna end with it. So there was a piano man, right? And the piano man was born carrying this heavy ass piano on his back. His daddy carried it, and his grandfather carried it, and every man before carried this piano. So that's all that he knew. And he just carried, like he literally just walked around every day with this piano on his back. So he could never see anybody. He had nobody in his vision. He didn't even have vision. All he had was below him. And he carried it every day. And one day, an enlightened man was on his path. And that enlightened man was triggered. Y'all follow me? He was triggered because he saw the piano on his back, and that immediately triggered him. You know why? Because one day he had the piano on his back. But somebody came along and helped him and taught him that he could remove the piano. So he went up to the man and said, hey down there. He looking up at him because shit, he can't see. All he knows is what's down, what's below. And he said, hey, do you know that you can literally just release that piano from your back and regain your posture? Do you know that? And then the man was like, man, my daddy carried this, my granddaddy, my ancestors. Shit, my ancestors carried this. This is who I am for the rest of my life. And then the man who have emotional boundaries said, well, I just want to relay the story to you. I just wanted to give you the skill set to know that you can do it. I just wanted to help you tap into a vision of seeing yourself with great posture and setting up straight. But it's good. Hopefully you will discover it later. 2 decades went by. 2 decades went by. He an old man, still carrying the piano on his back. And finally, he had a vision of him standing up straight. Because he heard spirit talk to him and say, all you got to do is eliminate it out of your life. Just eliminate it. And he had a vision of him eliminating it. So he only took the first, it was like a strap, right? So he took the first strap off his shoulder. And immediately he felt the relief because he took the first strap off his shoulder. And he felt the relief on his left side. And he was like, man, this what this feel like? So he struggled because he was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Remember we talked about the 25% of not knowing, but your faith will just say, do it because I got you. So then he took the strap off of the right-hand side and he was still bent over and he allowed the piano to just drop to his feet. And so the relief was there Because don't want the relief be there, like, oh my gosh, I got an eviction notice on my house. But then something came in and said, yeah, but you got 90 more days. You don't got to move yet, but you still feel the burden. That's how the piano man was. Even though the piano was gone, he was still feeling the burden, and he was still slumped over like this, looking at the ground. And then something beautiful happened. He remembered the man that was on the path. This is why we need community. Y'all got to follow me on this, because this is the conclusion of today, right? This is why we need community, and you got to stop feeling that you can do this shit by yourself, because you can't. That's why you losing. So then he had the whole vision of the dude coming and talking to him like this and saying, all you got to do is just stand up and straighten your posture. And even though the spirit told him to do it, sometimes you just got to have somebody physical in your life to come and tell you to do it, right? So then he straightened up, and he had this profound posture. And he began to look around at a world that he had not seen. He saw the blue skies. He saw birds chirping. He saw clouds in the sky. He saw the sun. Then when he looked down, he saw that the grass was really green, right? He started seeing like all of this amazingness around him. And then he started to weep and to have joy. And all he could say was, thank you, God. And I'm talking about, he was running through the town. Everybody thought he was crazy. He was running east, west, north, south. Thank you, God. 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 And on his way of running, he runs back into the man from 2 decades ago. 2 decades ago, y'all. And said, oh my gosh, baby, don't you look good without that piano? And they started to chop it up and just talked about the elimination process that he went through, and how he was still grateful that God gave him life to even be able to see what he was seeing at that time. And the piano man went home, saw his family for the first time. He was able to embrace his kids. He was able to love on his wife. And he went to bed, and he said, only if I just trusted you earlier. Because the next following week, the piano man passed away. That next following week. But isn't it beautiful that he got to experience life when he did? So we're all in a position right now where we're experiencing life, and life is now. We can't keep waiting around and playing games on this eliminating process. Y'all feeling me? We don't got a whole bunch of time. That's why I'm teaching y'all this with no strings attached. It ain't no strings attached. I follow God because I be hitting that dude up for some stuff. So he be like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this for you, then you need to go. I'll be having negotiations with God. He be like, well, if I'm supposed to do this for you, you got to go do this, because he know I'm hard-headed. He know that I play, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to choose easy world. And sometimes he make me do some shit that's very uncomfortable. This is very uncomfortable for me. But I'm obedient. I'm obedient to God, and which makes me obedient to myself. I love myself too much to lose. I love myself too much to keep replaying trauma reenactments. I love myself too much. And I just want you to love yourself too much too. So I want y'all to come back for day 5. Y'all, tomorrow. I know y'all told y'all 3:00, but I'm in a situation right now. And so time did permit me 3:00, but y'all are still here. And that shows dedication for one. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all giving me grace to be a little late, but know that I'm going to be back here tomorrow. Day 5, we're gonna close it out strong of our 5-day massive growth challenge. I reached my goal for TikTok. It done sent me all type of little ching and cheers. It's like, hey, you've been live for over 90 minutes. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Just say, if she can do it, I can do it too. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow on Friday. Bye. I'll see y'all today. I'll see y'all again on tomorrow too. Bye.